30-person study. And it was designed as a safety study with Aspen Labs. This is for the ASEA Redox, the blue bottle, okay? And hey, Dr. David, at the end of this, if we've questions, I'm going to be relying on smart people like you to help me plow through any questions. But I want to give you the layman's version of what I heard about this, okay? So 30 people study. This is not a test tube study. This is people, drawn blood, all sorts of stuff. Designed as a safety study. It's still ongoing. There's still new stuff coming out of this. The company is going to be writing a white paper on this within the next, maybe, let's maybe say by the end of the year, okay? So they're not really ready to go too public on this. So I'm going to give you my version of it. But I think it's really exciting. I think there's some really cool takeaways from this new research that's been done. So this idea of an allostatic load. So an allostatic load is really the cumulative cost of chronic stress on the body and your health, okay? And this chronic stress can be emotional stress, it can be chemical stress, it can be environmental stress, it can be dietary stress. I mean, it can be all of the toxins in our food, in our air, what we breathe, all of this stuff going on that's basically having a negative effect on our body. And if you think of this allostatic load, this level of chronic stress in our body, it's a little bit like the level of liquid in a glass, okay? So obviously, you know, if you keep pouring water into a glass, sooner or later, it's going to overflow. It's going to overflow out of the glass. And when your allostatic load overflows beyond what you can control and contain, that is when disease results. Okay, your body can no longer contain this allostatic load. It spills over and challenges result. Our body enters a place of dis-ease. Okay, it enters a place of dis-ease. So genetics, my understanding is you can't really increase your capacity to handle the allostatic load. That's, you know, some of us have big glasses, some of us have small glasses. That's more of a genetic idea. But we can do things to lower the level of liquid. We can do things to lower the allostatic load so it's not spilling out of the glass. Does that make sense to everybody? So there's some markers of this allostatic load. There's many of them. But there's some cytokines such as IL-1 beta and IL-6. Now I'm going to give you some fancy words. I've been practicing them. So here we go. Interleukin-1 beta and interleukin-6. Okay, so we call them IL-1 beta and IL-6. So these are different cytokines that measure this allostatic load. There's others as well, but these are two that we looked at. And what's really cool, we took measurements day 0, day 60, and day 120. Okay, so basically after the first 2 months and then after month 3 and 4. So here's what we discovered with the interleukin-1 beta. In the first 60 days, we were able to decrease, sorry, I should have written on the slide, decrease, not increase, decrease the allostatic load, decrease the interleukin-1 beta by 16.6%. What was really cool is after 120 days, we lowered it by 89%. That is a very, very significant number for interleukin-1 beta, okay? So imagine if you're getting close, or maybe the liquid is spilling out over the glass. Maybe the allostatic load is spilling and creating a state of dis-ease in your body, okay? Imagine being able to lower that load in this marker by 89%. That's very significant, guys, very significant. Now, what about IL-6? Now, IL-6 is very interesting because IL-6 is the marker that they use for measuring myocarditis, inflammation of the heart, which has been in the news over the last few years due to jabs and shots and all sorts of things. And I think it's very clear today that one of those side effects is myocarditis. And so this IL-6 measurement is very much closely related to that. Again, in the first 60 days, it was only a 2.6 difference, but day 120, it was 11.5. And that number is quite a bit lower than 89, but what I've learned through my asking questions is the IL-6 is a much harder marker to move. And so, in fact, 11.5 is a very, very significant shift in this IL-6 marker. Again, guys, I'm giving you the advanced show on this. The white paper that the company will produce will go into all of the details of it. But that is a very significant reduction in IL-6, that 11.5. Now, what do you see here?